Welcome, everyone. This is Sanika Mate, your friend, your mentor, and your guide, welcoming everyone to another lovely episode of the Campus Insider. As you must have already seen the last two episodes of Amritsar and Shillong, we are mapping the journey. And this time, as I promised, I am here with the IIM Sirmaur students. Okay. So we would be reviewing IIM Sirmaur's BMS program. All of you are almost on the verge now, 5 months down the line. We have IPMAT Indore. There are so many questions you might be having in your mind. With this journey, or this mapping the journey, we are just trying to ensure that when you get a call for any IIM, be it Shillong, be it in Amritsar, Sirmaur, a Kozhikode, you know that is the right place for you. You know what is going on there, what exactly the curriculum is, and everything which will make you assured that that is the right place you would be joining. And today I have two students with me. One is from the second year, who was from the first batch, and one is for the first year, who was from the second batch of IIM Sirmaur. I have Saumili Chatterjee and Akshit Marella. Okay, so without any further ado, quickly let's take their introduction so you know what their profiles are, and then you can do your calculation if I can fit the bill. Okay, so let's start with the senior. Saumili, can you please introduce yourself?
So, good evening. I'm Shamili Chatterjee. I was born in Kolkata, but I've been brought up in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, and been living here for the last 20 years. I completed my schooling from Carmel Convent School, Ratanpur. For my 10th grade, I had a percentage of 94.8, and then I opted for commerce without maths and had a percentage of 93.4. Apart from that, I was an active member in my school cabinet for 3 consecutive years. Started out as the school prefect, then went on to become the house captain and finished off as the school head girl. As of now, I'm pursuing the Bachelor's of Management Studies at IIM Sirmaur in my second year, and my next semester will be starting soon in the coming December. That's all about me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Saumili. So 94 you mentioned in 10th, right?
Yes, 94.8. Yeah.
Fantastic. And what was in 12th?
I had commerce stream without maths, 93.4.
94, 93. Definitely, pretty good profile there. And without maths.
Yeah, I didn't have maths.
Okay, so all my students there who is listening this, she's a student without maths and she cracked IIM. So can you? All right. Let's talk to Akshit now. Akshit, yes, can you please introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Akshat Marella. I'm from the city of Pearls, Hyderabad. I done my schooling from Hyderabad itself. In my 10th grade, I had 90.4%, best of six subjects. And the best of six subjects in my 12th was again 90.4. So my 10th and 12th grade were the same. And coming to my extracurriculars, I also, like Somali, I was pretty active in my school cabinet, being from my 10th grade itself, where I was the head of cultural committee in my 10th grade. And in the 11th grade, I was the head of the editorial board of my school. And in my 12th grade, I was the head boy. And after that, I also had a lot of MUN experiences. I had done a lot of MUNs and quite a lot of leadership activities from my 10th grade. So my extracurriculars also included a lot of sports as I loved playing sports. I had played majorly about football and badminton. Both of them I've participated in the state level and badminton in the national levels as well. That's about my extracurriculars. I've also run an NGO, which was a not-for-profit organization from my 11th grade onwards. And this was based out of Hyderabad itself. So I do have strong extracurriculars, but I think I always thought of that as an excuse to suffice on my academics. But I think that's about my profile.
I mean, it's a very good profile with the kind of extracurricular activities you have. I am sure that, it's extraordinary, let me tell you that. Akshat. And very humbly, you were saying that you were trying to make up for your academics. Okay, but state level, national level, that's an ideal profile. Fantastic. So now I know your profiles, okay? But one question which I'm sure our students would want to know is the fact that what were your options, Saumili, when you applied for IIM Sirmaur? What were your options? I know the first priority is Indore. By any given date, everybody knows the priority normally is Indore. But beyond that, I want to know from both of you, starting with, Saumili first, what was the option available for you and how you decided that let's go ahead with Sirmaur?
So, to be honest, I didn't write CUET. My parents had told me pehle se कि you are not going to Delhi. you are going for in any of the IIMs for IPM program or you're staying back here. So Delhi was, if not Delhi University, writing CUT was no point. So I wrote all of the IPMAT programs examinations. So what I had was the five IIMs. Back in our days, we didn't have Bangalore, Shillong, Amritsar. So we didn't have those three. We only had Indore, Rohtak, Ranchi, Jammu, Bodh Gaya. Jammu was also out of question. Jammu nahi jana hai, safe nahi hai. I only had four options. And Sirmaur came to me when I missed the cutoff of Indore QA because non-math again. So QA में difficulty थी and missed the cutoff. So my major options were four of these IIMs, and if not, then I would have gone for CAT.
And how you decided that Sirmaur, let's go ahead, because when you selected or opted for Sirmaur's, it was the first year of IIM Sirmaur's BMS program. What was your thought process or your parents' thought process? Ki it's okay, opt for Sirmaur.
I think the first reason was the curriculum. We matched the curriculum what my friends, जो IIM Indore में were already studying. Took their curriculum as an example and what IIM Sirmaur was offering back then. So IIM Sirmaur ka curriculum is very holistic. It's like literally at par with Indore and Ranchi, Rohtak, all of them. The courses we have from marketing, psychology, philosophy, everything. So what I wanted, my undergraduation to give me a platform where I would get a chance to explore every domain before I decide where I want to settle or where my interests actually lie. So Sirmaur was giving me exactly that. It was giving me a chance to explore from marketing to maths to economics, everything. So I got so much of a domain to explore and then decide that this is where my interest lies. So
Okay.
that's how my vision aligned with Sirmaur.
I think it makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. Uh, what was your story, Akshat?
So I was commerce with applied maths. I think I forgot to mention that. And with that, I had a lot of options as well on ahead. When I was selecting IIM Sirmaur, before this, I had written CLAT as well. I written a lot of entrance exams. I had Nalsar at my hands. I had IIM Amritsar at my hands. I had all of the other private universities, NMIMS Mumbai, Symbiosis, TAPME, and NICMAR, all the other universities at my hand as well. But I think what really stood out to me was Sirmaur's 4 years BBA honor program. So I think my path was clear that I don't want to diverge myself not only into directly into management, but I wanted a more holistic and and a way more open-minded approach to how the course is in Sirmaur. So right now, I think the 4 years path is a very big opportunity for all of us here because not only does this allow us to go for our masters abroad, but it does not limit us to a specific subject. So right now, it's giving us options for I think all of the other subjects that are possibly there. We're learning psychology, we're learning philosophy, as Somali said. Sociology is what they're learning right now. We have fundamentals of maths, fundamentals of economics, macroeconomics, microeconomics, and I think nearly everything which will you'll ever hear of when you're in a corporate or let's say a professional field. So not only do they want you to limit you to directly pursuing into management, they also want you to explore other options after your 4 years. Maybe let's say you want to do a master's in psychology, or you want to do a master's in something else, or maybe you want to get into civil services, or a lot of options are at your play right now. So I think most importantly at this course, they're teaching you how to think, and they're teaching you about what is the right path which you can take across your 4 years. So that's the reason why I chose IIM Sirmaur even over IIM Amritsar and all the other courses that I had gotten. And I think that's the reason why.
I think that's a very clear understanding you both gave me for your reasons to join IIM Sirmaur. Okay. It is giving you the liberty. And with this question, what you answered, you also answered my next question, which I wanted to ask you is about the subjects which is getting covered. I think you, Saumili, and you, Akshat, both of you covered that particular question as well by proactively telling me what subjects you all are learning. So basically, we are looking at a holistic approach for where you're learning everything, starting from marketing, sociology, philosophy, communication, everything is being covered there. Okay. Now, see, one question which I'm sure students would definitely ask is that what kind of students should join Sirmaur? Okay. Like, for example, And I am Amritsar. When I was speaking to those students, they were very clear that a student who is looking at economics and looking at mathematics, it is evident that that particular program, which is the first year, which is BSQFE plus MBA, that's what the program is. It is very much appealing to those students who are very much on the economics aspect of the academics. What exactly Sirmore has where a particular student thinking about, let's say, only a management focused student can join Sirmore? What kind of students can join Sirmore program, the IIM BMS program for IIM Sirmore?
I think I'll start this answer with an example. One of my batchmates, Monisha, she got enrolled at NIFT Chennai. So she was planning to pursue fashion, and then she got into this program, and she changed her entire path and came for management. So I feel the course Sirmore is offering is so holistic that someone who was pursuing medicine, someone who was pursuing fashion, changed their path because here they get an opportunity to explore so many paths before delving into one. Here you don't have to be fixated that you need to pursue a career in economics or finance. As of now, when I joined this program, I had no knowledge of any field. I was like an empty book. And as of now, I feel my interests are a built leaning towards marketing. So that's the base that Sirmore gives you. You can decide for yourself and lean towards that path.
Makes sense. Akshit, any different point of view?
Adding on to what Somli had said, I think Sirmaur gives us a way more holistic approach compared to the other IIMs, if you can see. They include a lot of the other subjects, so we're not missing out on anything. If you compare us to the IIM Amritsar's course, we do have a lot of rigor in economics as well as maths, which I think both of us are facing right now. It's not necessarily should be seen as an easy course. It's a very liberal arts course as well as a strong foundation in management. So, as I am Sirmaur says, our two fundamentals are management and leadership. So, I think their obligation here is to build future leaders. Whichever field you choose, possibly choose, they're willing to build future leaders here. And I think that's something which I would like to add on.
Okay, so the outcome is that any student who is looking at an overall development, a holistic development, somebody who is right now not too sure, he wants to get into management, but not really sure whether wants to do marketing or finance or HR or operations or whatever field, that particular student can definitely choose this option because he would get a clarity what he would want to do. Okay. But with this, I have another question here. It like kind of brings the next question. Normally, with any kind of a 4 year program, you get an option of deciding onto your specialization, or in liberal arts term, we call it majors. Okay. You get that option in the third year or the second year. Okay. Is it something similar applicable for Sinmore as well?
We do have that provision, but it's towards the last year. We have it on the fourth year.
Okay.
We'll be given the options of selecting, I guess, four electives, and then there'll be a one add-on capstone project. So specialization is in the fourth year.
Okay. So in the
Yeah.
fourth year, you get four electives
Yes.
and you get a capstone project as well. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what we are talking about, a capstone project, I'm sure a parent would be able to understand, but a 11 or a 12-year student won't be able to understand. So, Somili, just take one moment and explain what a capstone project is.
Okay, so to be very honest, I don't have a very wide knowledge of this topic because I myself was planning to write CAT after the third year. But
Okay.
because we also have the option of exiting the program after 3 years, you will be given the bachelor's degree. And if you want to complete fourth, you'll be given the honors degree, the same as what I am Indore follows. So, talking about the capstone project, capstone is something where you'll be given hands-on experience of working with an industry leader. So you will be able to connect what you learn theoretical with the practical knowledge. So you'll know what is a supply chain, how it actually works in the industry.
Akshit, would you like to add something to that?
Yes, ma'am. So adding on to what Somli said, in the third year, I think in the next year, about an entire semester is either
Hmm.
spent working or you'll have student exchange. So moving on to this, in the fourth year, they let you choose your specializations, And I think as of right now, they've informed us about a lot of diverse specializations which you can actually choose. And after the fourth year, after that, you'll have an opportunity to work with an industry professional. And I think that's the part of the Capstone project, which Somali had mentioned. And there are a lot of parts. It's a very evolving course yet. So they're catering the course, catering our needs every year. A part of it is kept on changing every year. So let's see how the specializations go and what they actually are when we're in our fourth year. But we're aware of the fact that they are really, really interesting ones. Like we might have AI, we might have, let's say, data science, we might have a lot of the stuff, as well as your interests like psychology, and including the liberal arts part of it as well.
Okay. So with in the fourth year, the opportunities available with four specialization and a project which will test all your learning, where you can apply those learning to that particular project, where you whatever skills you have learned in the 3 years, you put it to test, and eventually you submit that project as your final learning to the college. Okay, that definitely sounds good. Now let me get into a little. So I kind of got the understanding of how the academic looks like. Okay. Is IIM Sirmaur also working on semester basis? It
Yes.
is, right? Okay. How exactly is, let's get into the teaching aspect of Sirmaur. Okay. Does IIM Sirmaur have visiting faculty? Yes, no?
Yes.
They
Yes,
do
we do
have it.
have.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what exactly the teaching style is? Is it very practical? Is it very, textbook style? Or there is something where the concept is uh, being looked at, starting from you, Akshat.
I think regarding the visiting faculty, I'm aware. I think Somali can answer that question. They have visiting faculty right now for a couple of their subjects, and going on to ours, our faculty is actually some of the most amazing industry professionals as well as academicians, which are there in the country. So, being one of the most fastest growing IIMs, they've recruited a lot of dynamic individuals to lead us and guide us across the subjects. So I would say that in the teaching style is very, very practical, and nothing is totally based out of the textbook. Every class delves around the class's interest, how the class is actually moving forward. And even though there's a course program and there's a course module which is given, everything is framed out of that. It's just like the backbone of the course where everything just branches out depending upon the class's interest. That's how it works.
Great. Shamili, anything you would want to add? Visiting faculty, I think you would be the right
Yes.
person to give the details.
Yes, we did have visiting faculty in my last semester for financial accounting and also for a course based on environmental studies. The professor who taught us also is part of SP Jain and then GIM. So he is also already teaching at Premier Institutes. And talking about the mix between practical and theoretical approach, obviously there are subjects like mathematics. It's purely theory. There is no group activity sort of. But then there are also subjects like organizational behavior. Our professor, to say the least, she made every single session so interactive. Like every session, we were doing something. I'll give you one snippet. There was this activity where every group was given the same waste material, and we were not allowed to speak to the members. And we had a duration of 3 minutes, and we were asked to create a bridge, and we were not allowed to speak to anybody. So it was all about communication, and then just one example of many activities we had. So most of the courses find a very fine-tuned balance between practical teaching through PPTs and theory.
Lovely.
But
So definitely, Sirmore is focusing on the practical knowledge,
yes,
students understanding the concept, and not just by rote learning. That is something which is, I think, a forte of an IIM, where that's why they are kind of renowned for producing leaders. But something which really is the decision factor for any student to select an IIM is the rigor. Okay. When you get into an IIM, students forget that rigor is something you have to live with, because every IIM, I mean, after you join an IIM, you realize that this is the reality where the rigor, the fast pace, you doing your proper time management will be a part of life. Just give me a little insight of what your day looks like. Starting with you, Saumili, in the second year, what exactly the day looks like.
When we don't have exams, it's like it's pretty chill. We have classes from 9 to 5, and then we have the rest of the day to ourselves. If we are working on any case com or building something, we have time for that. But talking about the exam duration, it's very hectic. Like wrote in my semester three, I wrote 10 exams in 5 days. And I so vividly remember skipping lunches for 3 consecutive days because we only had 1 hour break between two papers of 3 hour duration. So it's very hectic during exams. We used to write two papers, one in the morning, one in the evening, and no breaks. And we have next paper for the next day, again two. So it's very hectic during the exams.
Yeah, but rest of the time, it is
Yeah,
manageable.
it gives us time. Like we have 80% attendance criteria. So we do have time to build something of our own, to work on our projects, participate in competitions. It gives us time for like personal development also.
Okay. So IIM is equal to rigor,
Yes.
right? Great. That's for second year. Okay. Akshit, it's 3.5 months in IIM Sirmaur. How IIM Sirmaur is treating you?
I would actually like to add on to Somli's point. So last year, I think IIM Sirmaur started late, first year
Hmm.
batch. So for them, the first year was very, very hectic. Like
Yes.
They were just
some
running
something
with the
which
course.
shocked us because what we did in 5 months, they did that in I think 3 or 2.5 months. So it was quite hectic for them. But I think for the first years, they give us a lot of time to explore. So more than the class learnings as well, we have a lot of projects outside the class which we need to submit, assignments, projects, etc. And we also have opportunities to work with the professors. So adding on to a point, I would like to give an example. So for our ethics and human values course, we had seen a movie in class. It was a 2.5 hour long movie, and this was Professor Debashish. He was working in the UN for about 20 years or something, and then he came back and he's teaching in IIM Sirmaur right now. He's a faculty. After that, we were like, oh wow, movie. After that, we had a series of quizzes in ethics and human values. We had a quiz in every single subject, which had totally drained us out this week. So the movie was watched, I think, last Saturday, and then we were like, oh wow, and then this week was very hectic. So it totally depends upon the time, I would say. Going towards the examinations, it's a very, very hectic schedule. But I think they do give us enough time. If you're consistent enough, you surely will be able to have enough time to do most of the stuff which I would say give you a lot of learning.
You know what? While listening to both of you, one thing which is very clear, I've spoken all the IIMs I've covered. I think hardly three are left. But one thing which is very clear is the fact that no student would say that, ma'am, it's okay. Everybody is kept on the edge during the examination. Okay. And I think that's how leaders are created. And that's what completely, I know I kind of believe it now. But one thing which is out of curiosity, I'm asking. See, when there is so much rigor, when there is, that it is an IIM, every next person sitting to you would be a 90 above student, which clearly means that you have a strong competition in the class. Okay. How exactly is the competition in the second year? I will come to the first year as well, but how is the competition in the second year, Shamili?
I think our cohort is a very healthy mix of some very chill people and competitive as well. Because I think a blend is required. Otherwise, if there is only people who are just running for academics, studying for 7 hours a day, I don't think that how a student should be at an IIM. So it's a very pretty mix between chill and being competitive. On
Okay.
most days, we don't study at all, and during exams, is like every day is an all-nighter.
Okay. Akshat, is the first year the same?
Yes, I think a lot of us. So our batch is very, very vivid. A lot of them are from a lot of different streams. I think a lot of them are from PCM or like PCMB. There are people from PCMB, and then they're like from PCB, Commerce. There are people from humanities as well. So a lot of people are here, present here in our batch. But yeah, I think our batch is quite competitive when it comes to examinations. But I think everyone is chasing more developing themselves rather than only rote code learning for examinations, which I feel is very necessary when it comes to an IIM. And even though it is relative grading, not everybody is your competitor here at IIM Sirmaur. We're friends first, and then the competition starts.
And I think that's what is required when you're away from your house, you're
Yeah.
away from your home. Tell me something. Is See, communication is an important aspect of being a leader. You need to know how to communicate and effectively. Okay. Projects definitely a part of it, but even very often, do you have presentations? You do have it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So adding on to what she said, ma'am, you were talking about communication. So in our first
Right.
semester itself, we have a course on oral communication.
Okay.
So it's based totally upon business communication, oral communication. And that's a 1.5 credit course, which means it's about 15 sessions. And it is quite effective when it comes to teaching us about how to communicate effectively as well as in the real business world.
Fantastic. Now tell me, what about the faculty? Are they approachable?
Yes, like we have the email IDs of every single faculty, be it the residential or the visiting. You can like mail them and they do reply on business days. And yeah, and the ones who are like willing to stay back after classes, there are rooms where you can go and talk to them after class hours. So yeah, they are approachable.
Great. Definitely, IIM Sirmaur is living up to the name of IIM, academic rigor, presentations, making sure that you guys are turning into good leaders. But with all, study, no play, I don't think that would really work. Being away in a hostel, fun plays a very important role. Okay. So let's talk about how the fun activity looks like, because this is what I think the real playground where you guys learn skills. Okay. Being in clubs and committees, being a part of festivals. So, Somali, you are senior, right? You're in the second year. Tell me more about how exactly the fun part of Sirmaur looks like.
So we have a cultural committee that takes charge of planning all of the events. Like we celebrated Ganesh Chaturthi quite extravagantly. We had Garba for 2 days during Navratri. And we also had multiple events like fashion days, Diwali parties. So that's all is a forte of cultural committee. It does take care of all that. And we also have cricket leagues, badminton tournaments that takes place during weekends. So yeah, all that's
We
there.
had so right after our midterms examination, we had Sirmaur Premier League. So this was a
Yeah.
football league, and it was a proper auction. Everyone was dressed up in suits. All the players were there, and we had
Oh,
managers as
seriously?
well. Yeah, and this happened, I think, last year for cricket, and this year it happened for football, and it's going to happen for cricket again this year once the seniors are here. So in the starting of the first month itself, we had seniors versus juniors, all kinds of sports, going from shot put to football, badminton, every single sport. And after that, we do have a lot of events on campus. So I think it's the perfect balance between academics as well as enjoyment. There's always something happening or the other. Like today, we just had a quiz and the people playing. There was a cricket match that just happened, and I've chose to sleep rather than play cricket today. But yeah, it is quite, and do have a lot of enjoyment here as well. But yeah, the rigor does live up to it.
One thing out of curiosity I want to ask, okay? See, Sirmaur is in Himachal. For a maximum of art of India, that's a tourist spot for us. But you guys are living there. I remember speaking, a while back to Akshit, and he said it's 9 degrees there. Okay. So people who are from West and you from Hyderabad yourself, Akshit, right?
Right.
How exactly you are from Bhopal, right, Somili? Is it manageable or you have some, you know, is it like because is it disconnected because you are in a hilly region? Because for a lot of students that becomes a very deal breaker. So
Not at all, ma'am. I think we have a lot of stuff which people do think are not present in Himachal Pradesh, from Baskin Robbins to anything possible to Domino's and all the other basic essentials to require. And I think it is very chilly and it's still November. And I think today is 9 degrees. It's going to reach 5 degrees most probably. And I think December is going to be even colder because of the El Nino effect in the northern states right now. But it is quite manageable. We have heaters in our rooms, and all the places, the all the indoor blocks have heaters, including the mess, including all the other places where people hang out, the library. And it is quite cozy in the room. But yeah, but a lot of us are awake in the night and a lot of us go, and there are a lot of places to hang out on campus. So we deal with the cold. I think we've gotten used to the cold.
I
Lovely.
remember we joined the college in November. So we had no time
Yeah.
to prepare. We were thrown to the winter season. I love winters. I remember our group, some of us used to sit and create bonfires. So we used to be in the ground at 11 or 12 p.m. in the night, and it used to be so fun. It used to be so chilly, like November, 9 degrees is the bare minimum. It'll go way down. It'll touch 2 to 3 degrees by the end of December. And it's fun. It's you sit in the bonfire, you connect with people. I feel it's the sad part is that it does not snow in Sirmaur. That's the only thing we are missing.
So Sirmaur
Okay.
is in the edge of Himachal Pradesh. It's the
Yeah.
most southernmost state.
Hmm.
We're actually very close to Dehradun. Dehradun is our
Hmm.
closest airport.
Uttarakhand.
We're about 65, 66 kilometers from
Hmm.
Dehradun. And we're in the border from Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, as well as Uttarakhand.
Uttarakhand. Yeah.
So it does
Okay.
get quite cold.
Okay. So you just mentioned that hostels do have heaters. So are we looking at hostel accommodations? Because whenever we use the word hostel, okay, I don't think anybody think positive. People immediately you're like, oh, mess ka khana, oh, hostel. What exactly is the situation in Sirmaur? Family, if you possibly can add, because I think you
Yeah.
have an experience now.
For the girls' hostel, we have a sharing basis, two girls per room. We were not much in numbers, so we accommodated only one floor. So the entire girls' hostel accommodate both. On the top floor, it's us girls, and then on the ground floor, there are boys. We have proper diversifications. Nobody can enter either part. The boys' hostel also, I feel there are two boys per room, but then I feel five, six boys live together there. And I hear most of the time that they're changing their rooms between semesters. Between semesters, they're changing their rooms and shifting all of that. So it's pretty chill.
Okay. It's pretty chill and it's pretty good. I think it is something
Yeah,
which you
it's
can
livable.
comfortably stay livable.
Hmm.
Akshat, what is happening in the boys' hostel? Why people are changing rooms?
So the boys' hostel is like a family, I would say. Where so there's two hostels. There's one dedicated for only boys, and there's one which is shared with the girls of the second year. The one which is shared with the second year, that holds about I think 20 25 boys. And and we share this hostel with our seniors as well. This is, I
Okay.
think, easily around 150, 160 guys strong. And it is very, very fun. So the boss hostel is always alive. I think people are screeching outside right now as well. But it is very alive. And we do have the flexibility to change rooms. Most of our rooms are two sharing, but a couple of the gigantic rooms are three sharing, which are not those many in number. But mine is three sharing. Mine is a three sharing room.
Okay. Okay. Looks like it's fun. Okay, you guys are comfortable. Now Sirmore has become your home. But something which I want to now understand is the safety. Okay. See, till 12th, maximum of the students would be there at home. Parents would want to, so it, when they say that I'm okay, like, Somali, your parents were very clear, कि दिल्ली नहीं जाना है. So you go to IIM or you study locally and then you kind of pursue CAT. Okay. I come across a lot of parents with the same thing. And the only reason behind it is the safety of their child. Okay. Is it safe in terms of security? I'm sure 1.5 year almost, Saumili, and 3 4 months you have been staying there. Just want to understand from both of you how exactly the safety measures are. Is there any kind of a cutoff time that you cannot go beyond a certain time outside? Saumili, if you can start and then
Mhm.
Akshit to definitely add.
8 p.m. is the time after which you cannot exit the campus boundaries, and I feel 7 is the time to return. So after which you are not allowed to leave or enter the campus. Though we have 24/7 ambulance availability. Anytime if anyone is sick, there will be prompt assistance by the ambulance. Apart from that, you cannot leave the hostels or the campus, but you can roam around the entire campus at whatever time you like. There are people
Okay.
studying 24/7 in the library during the exam days, so that's also there.
Okay, so that means that being in the hostel is not a problem. You can
Yes.
absolutely roam around. Lovely. Anything you would like to add, Akshat?
Yes, ma'am. So, adding on, I also was not allowed to write CUET because I was not supposed to go to Delhi. My dad was against me going to Delhi. So, but I think choosing Sirmaur was actually very frantic. It was very scary in the starting that, oh, I'm going to go to Himachal Pradesh. It might be very dangerous. But my mom was very worried, very, very worried to say the least. She would call me like every couple of hours and be like, "Are you fine?" And I'd be like, "हाँ सब ठीक है." And then it was quite intense in the starting 1 month. But we do have curfew about 8 o'clock. But if you take an out pass, let's say you want to go out with your friends, visit nearby places. We have Mussoorie is quite nearby, Shimla is quite nearby. I went to Mussoorie with the boys in this hostel. All of us had planned, and we had gone to Mussoorie. And we have a lot of events in the night as well, which take part in the night. We have football matches at like 2:30, 3:30 sometimes. And this is right after a very hectic day of classes. Like, let's say we have a very hectic day, we just decide, okay, let's play. And 8 o'clock is the in time. You have to be back by 8 o'clock. And I think you can leave after 5:30 in the morning or 6, I believe. After 5:30, I believe you'll be allowed to leave the campus in the morning. And it is quite amazing because we do get really, really good scenic views. The sunrise, the sunset, especially in the winters, everything clears up. So we can see the mountain peaks right now as well from our campus. And we also have Yamuna, which flows through our campus, outside our campus. So
Right.
the path directly going from the campus is blocked, but there are you can go visit Yamuna from other paths, walking outside and taking a trek maybe if you want to. And there is also a wildlife park which is right on the boundaries of our campus. So we do see a lot of birds, a lot of species of birds that come across every single day.
Wow. Interviewing, IIM Sirmaur students and IIM Shillong students. I'm sure people who would be watching after Shillong this particular episode, they would know. It's something which, the way you are describing the campus, the similar way IIM Shillong students described the campus, saying that their football practice couldn't happen because there was a cloud stuck in the court. And that was one of the reasons why they just could not practice. So I think good problems to have, considering you come from Hyderabad and Bhopal, where you we don't really get this kind of a climate and this kind of good problems. But it's really nice. But one thing, before we kind of close, because I've covered all the possible aspects. Now I want to speak about placement, but here placement would not really kind of be applicable because it's the second year. The program is just like 1.5 year when the program started. So we will map the journey. Possibly next year we would have another student, and Somali would be in the third year, giving us more gyan in terms of how exactly the Sirmar is, kind of delivering the program. But on a closing note, okay, if you have to give somebody advice that, why you should choose as a senior, both of you now would be senior. So if you have to give somebody an advice that why you should pick Sirmore out of everything, what would that advice be? Starting with the senior.
So of course, as you mentioned earlier, the first choice is obviously Indore. But I think when we say it's Indore, it's because of the number of years it's been in the industry. Indore has set its legacy for a long time now. I remember people saying like 8 to 9 years back कि IPM कौन ही करेगा MBA करेंगे ना इंदौर से बैचलर्स क्या होता है IIM में. So I think that's what we are living right now. A lot of people are not even aware that BMS program has started. So it will take time for us to create the legacy. But having said that, I truly believe with what we are studying and the curriculum and Sirmor has set and the legacy we are building as first and second years, we will live up to the expectation of the industry standards at par of IIM Indore and other IIMs. And as someone who comes from cities like Hyderabad, Bhopal, Sirmaur is the closest you'll ever be to the touristy spots like Missouri, Manali, Shimla, everywhere. It just takes like hours to go see Ganga Aarti at Rishikesh. So if I'm giving you a clickbait, come to Sirmaur. It will be the most touristy and fun place ever, far away from home. And
Which
curriculum is
also
at par with IIM Indore, so it's
yes, let's not forget the curriculum. Yes, Akshat, what will be your wise words for the students and parents why they should actually opt for IIM Sirmaur?
So I remember I last year this time I was also watching Mam's videos, Campus Insiders, for every single college possible. So going from all the private colleges to all the IIMs, and I think she had covered a lot of liberal arts colleges like Flame, which I had applied to because I think one thing which I'd always said was keep your options open. So
Absolutely.
I think I would also say that keep all your options open. This is what Durga sir has been telling me from the starting. Keep your options open, and then let's see what happens. But for me personally, I would say my choice was that I want to do a 4 years honors program because there are a lot of restrictions. Let's say I want to go get a master's abroad. There are a lot of restrictions regarding your degree. So a lot of them prefer an honors degree and a 4 years degree. So due to that, my options were actually I am Koikod. It was IIM Shillong's 4 years BBA. It gives you an exit option for four, and all the others. So I had been keen on getting into Indore, but not keen enough for me to be like, oh, I'm missing out. But I think coming here is something that which has proven that yeah, even though we might be considered as a baby IIM, we are truly growing babies because we're truly rising in rankings. Our campus is building every single day and we are growing, and you can see our dynamic batch of individuals, which the quality of the crowd is equally at par with Indore, if not more. So I would say that's a very big factor. You do not have to be worried about the crowd. Everybody is doing something or the other on campus. There are a lot of us are winning case comms. A lot of people have won IIM Nagpur's case com right now. People have won IIM Shillong's case com actually right now. A lot of case comms have been won from our first year and second year batch. And I think that would really encourage my juniors, hopefully juniors that do come to IIM Sirmaur, to pick Sirmaur because of the course curriculum and compare the course right after you have your options open. That would be my advice.
Fantastic. Now, I'll tell you what actually I understood out of the whole thing. So, if you are a student or parent watching this particular video, reached up till here, that means you have seen the complete video. Okay. Now, the only advice and what outcome I would give you, if you have or if you're looking at, having a foundation of your undergraduate, a strong foundation of an undergraduate, and then decide what you would want to do, Sirmore would definitely be a good option. Okay, because you get best of everything. Okay, good, campus, scenic view, absolutely picturesque surrounding. It's just something which comes as a incentive, but a strong curriculum and a very competitive and good peer group which you would get would definitely will go a long way. Any which ways, after 3 years, you have the opportunity of opting for CAT or whichever way you would want to go for. But if you are looking at Sirmore, then definitely you would not be disappointed with whatever information we were able to gather here. Okay. Now, with this, I would like to thank all of you who have taken out time to, see this particular video till the end. If you have any questions, please put up in the comment section. We will ensure we answer that for you. And also, I would like to know which other IIMs you would like to see or which other college you would want to see. So I ensure I get those students. Thank you so much. Stay focused and all the best.